Welcome to another On Deck Baseball tutorial video. Today we're going to be talking about one of the peripherals that will be offered on the OnDeckBaseballGame.com website, and that's going to be the offensive stat tracker. So what we have here is our book that we're keeping for our team, the Knights, in the gameplay series that we're doing. I've only done 4 games so far. I hope to do more, but I have not had a chance to do any of the stat tracking. So we're going to go ahead and turn through our pages. You have the schedules, the rosters, and everything at the beginning. If you keep the book anything similar to how I do, your players will be next, and your score sheets will be at the end here. So we're going to go ahead and take our first game score sheet, excuse me, for game 1. And we'll go ahead and pop it down here. So what we have is game 1 of the Knights, where they lost 11-1. They got kind of destroyed in that first game. And we're going to go ahead and go to the On Deck Baseball Game website. Now you could either do that by clicking Shop Now on the On Deck Baseball Group Facebook page. I'm going to go ahead and type it in though. And once you get to the home page on the website, what you're going to want to do is go over to support. Now for support, you'll see that the drop-down menu has videos, files, and additional ordering information. The videos obviously will have some of the gameplay footage as well as the tutorials like I'm doing now. But for our purposes today, we're going to go ahead and click on files. Now once you get in here, you'll notice that everything is going to be in Excel form. Now for those of you that have Apple computers, I'm not sure what the conversion is for Microsoft Excel. That is not something I'm very familiar with, but I know that you guys are very handy with computers, so I'm sure that there is a program that you'll be able to upload these sheets in. So we're going to go ahead and find our team offensive stat tracker. This is going to be the file here. You're going to go ahead and click on this little icon. And we're going to go ahead to choose to open it with Excel, so we'll hit OK on there. All right, so once we get the file open, you're going to want to, first thing, hit Enable Editing. Once you've done that, you'll notice that it starts off on the Playoff Team Totals tab, which is the last tab in the file. We're going to want to go down to the first player. So you're going to go at the bottom here where all these tabs are for player numbers, and you're going to hit the left arrow to bring you all the way over to player 1. Now it starts off at the bottom of the tab. You'll notice that there's going to be a spot here for the player totals. These will be season totals here, and then also inputs for different playoff rounds, which will have the batting average and everything for individual games, as well as totals for each series. The way I have it set up is round 1 would be a 5-game series, round 2 would be another 5-game series, and then a championship series would be 7 games. Now, of course, you guys can arrange that however you like. You could do 3, 5, and 7, or 3, 3, and 5, whatever you feel like. So we're going to go ahead and scroll up all the way to the top here, and we're going to go to first this yellow rectangle here where it says Enter Player's Name. And you'll notice that our first player on the score sheet is Alcova. So we're going to go ahead and enter his name here. And once that's done, we're going to go over to the very left column here of the yellow. And it says the first column is start/sub. Now this is something that somebody wanted, after I took some feedback from the Facebook group, somebody wanted to have this here to determine whether or not the player was a starter or subbed into the game. So Alcova was a starter. We're going to go ahead and type in start. You can go ahead and hit the backspace so it doesn't autofill the sub part. And you just simply hit the arrow to the right to go over to hits. So we're going to go ahead and put in the information for Alcova. He went 3 for 4 in that game. He had 1 double, no triples, no home runs, no RBIs. He did score 1 run. He did strike out once, no walks, no sacrifice stolen bases, or caught stealings. So now our information for the first game is entered on Alcova. If we scroll down, you'll notice that the information does carry over for Alcova in the season totals for that particular player. You'll notice he has 3 hits and 4 at-bats, all the way carried over to a 750 average through game 1. Nothing else has been filled out yet. And we can move on to player 2. Now for player 2, we're going to go ahead and enter his name, which is Gabriel. He was a starter as well. And he went 1 for 4 with just 3 strikeouts. Now, of course, it's going to depend on your comfort level with the keyboard that you're using, how fast you can enter these players. I've been doing this for quite some time, so I'm pretty comfortable with the arrows and the numbers here. Our next player is going to be Callahan. If you've been following the game series that I've been doing, you'll remember that Callahan actually got injured in the first game. He was our starter, but he only had 2 at-bats, and one of them was a walk, so actually only 2 plate appearances and 1 at-bat. So he went 0 for 1, and he had 1 walk. Now for player 4 is going to be the sub, which was Cheney, who subbed in for Callahan after Callahan got injured. So we'll go ahead and type in sub there. And he came into the game and went 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And we have his information entered. Now again, once you fill in this information, everything will carry down here. And as well, if you go down to the bottom tabs here and use your right arrow and click over to season team totals, you'll notice that the names have carried over into the file here, and all the statistical information for that individual player. Now all season totals will carry over into this. And for the team totals at the bottom, everything works out for the team totals here as well. So that is the offensive stat tracker. If you guys have any questions, of course, that's a quick tutorial, so I'm sure you guys will have additional questions. You can leave them in the comments below, and look for the video on the pitching stat tracker, which is actually a separate file. I felt it was easiest to keep track of everything in 2 different files. All right, thank you.